Hi everyone, it's Donna from Little Spaceman Papercrafts. Today is my second weight update video. I went back to my Slimming World group. The first weigh-in I think was the 5th of January. So I weighed in and that was the start of my my journey again then. So in the first week back after that, my first weigh-in was I'd lost 8 pounds, and then my next weigh-in after that I'd lost 3.5, and this week, or sorry, last week, my last weigh-in, I haven't weighed in yet this week, I for some reason gained 2.5 pounds. It's happened to me before, you know, I can't think of a reason. I think it's just my body really, and just the way it reacts to certain things, but you know, it's in the grand scheme of things, I know I did nothing wrong, so that 2.5, as unjustified as it was, I will just draw a line under and forget about it, because if I start getting hung up on you know, gaining weight when I'm trying so hard to lose it, I'll just end up giving up and I'll just lose my focus and it just won't work at all. So I'm trying to not do what I did last time, and my previous journey, as I said before, I had lost 13 stone. At the moment I'm up to almost 7 stone loss, so you know, I've gained over the last sort of year and a half. I've put a lot of weight back on. I mean, it's due to a lot of things, overeating obviously mainly, but stress and anxiety do play a big part in my eating habits, and when you've got a food addiction it's really difficult. So you know, not that I'm making excuses, because there are no excuses. I have done this to myself. So the last time I was setting myself quite unrealistic targets and goals, and in some ways I was almost setting myself up to fail, because I was thinking if I didn't hit those targets or those goals, then you know, what's the point? And I think in all honesty I was too hard on myself. So this time I'm going to set smaller goals, and for me at my size it should be pretty realistic to lose a stone a month. That's 14 pounds. There should be no reason why I can't achieve that, but I'm not going to get hung up on it if I don't. I haven't done it for this month, so I'm, you know, a few pounds short, but I'm not going to let it sort of get to a point where I think, oh well, I've fluffed it for this month, I might as well give up. I'm not going to give up. I've got so much going on. I'm learning to drive at the minute, and that was a big thing for me, because all through my teenage years and my 20s I didn't want to learn to drive, and even, you know, towards my sort of mid-30s I thought, right, I've got to learn to drive. But at that point I was very heavy and didn't or couldn't fit behind the wheel of a car. I had to buy an extendable seat belt to be a passenger in a car, and it's not a nice, you know, it's not a nice thought. I never would really get on a bus, because I would tend to take up more than the one seat, and where I live in my town, it's a very busy route into the main city centre, so you would find people standing up and knowing that they'd be staring at me and tutting and sighing, so I would just try and avoid that completely, and I would get cabs everywhere, which obviously was not very cost effective. But at that point in my life I rarely went out anyway. I did become a bit of a recluse, to be fair, but I had a huge support network in, you know, my husband and my son, and my whole family really were really quite supportive. So I was really lucky there. So I am learning to drive now because I can fit behind the wheel of a car, and I can use the designated seatbelt without needing an extender, so that's really good. So I've been taking lessons now for a few months, and my instructor is pretty pleased with how I'm doing. So hopefully it won't be long till I get a bit more independence. I think once I get more independence, I'll feel more confident going out to different places. I do enjoy going to the gym. Now, I haven't been to the gym since before I got married, so that's over. God, that's awful. No, tell a lie, actually, I have been since, but it's been a good probably 8 to 10 months since I've been to the gym. Nick, my husband, goes every week, a couple of times, and he's doing really well. He's stuck at it. Although he was never big anyway, he was pretty average size. So, and as far as healthy eating goes in our house, from the time that I had my son, I was very, very conscious about what he ate, making sure he had the right amount of vegetables and fruits and, you know, enough protein. So excuse me. So I've always been very conscious with Riley. Now, the thing with Riley is that when he was 5, he was diagnosed as having autism, and he has since then developed, as part of his autism, a lot of sensory issues, which various other different things, but he can't, he doesn't like certain tastes or textures in his mouth. So it has been a struggle, but we've done it, and there are a few foods that he really likes, and if I find something that he really likes, then if it's shop bought, I'll just try and recreate it at home, so I know that everything that I put into it is, you know, there's no sort of additives and preservatives and things, so I try and make up everything from scratch at home. I mean, a prime example is he likes fish fingers, but I do them with salmon instead, and I do use breadcrumbs, but I use way less, and I do him like a little dip that he likes, so he would quite happily eat that, so that's great. So yeah, as far as we are in the family, you know, we do healthy eat. My problem is not my actual meals and not the food I eat, it's the junk, and that is my weakness. And in, you know, I'm an emotional eater, so, you know, if I'm really, really upset, the first thing I want to reach for is chocolate and junk food, and, you know, because you get that little sugar rush, which is great at the time, and then, you know, for me, I'm just overwhelmed with guilt afterwards, so it's not really worth it. For me, chocolate is my big weakness. I can't just have a piece of chocolate and leave it. If I have a bar of chocolate bought for me, or, you know, whatever from, you know, my nieces and nephews often buy me bits and pieces, so I can't just have one square, I have to finish the whole thing, so I tend not to do it now. I really try and stay away from chocolate completely. If I really do fancy a chocolate fix, I'll have a low fat hot chocolate drink at home, and that tends to you know, sort of take the edge off the craving for chocolate. So that's pretty much it in the way of a weight update. I do intend in the next few months, when I feel a bit more confident, to get back to the gym, and to continue on with the driving lessons. I think once I pass my driving test, I think that little bit of confidence to know that, you know, I have achieved that, and that's been something, you know, I have wanted to do for a while but was always not able to. So I think once I do that, that will give me a bit of a boost as well. Also, you know, there's a lot to do in the next week. This week is Riley's 11th birthday, so he wanted to have a family meal, and not just me and his dad and him. He wanted a huge, now my family is huge. I have 4 sisters and they have their significant others and their children, and then I obviously have my stepchildren from Nick's previous relationship and their children, which are my grandchildren. So it's a huge, we're all just going to descend on the pub by our house on Saturday evening. So we're all just going to descend there, and they know we're coming, so so they can be prepared. So but yeah, I think that's it. And I will be having birthday cake. You know, my son's only 11 once, so I will be partaking in some birthday cake. Not a huge amount obviously, but I will indulge in a slice of birthday cake. So I think that's it then, guys, for now. The next weight update I'll do will be the end of February. So this is actually the 1st of February now, and I had previously filmed 2 weight loss or weight journey videos, but I had to I couldn't use them because when I went to put them on the computer it said that the files were corrupt. So hopefully this time I've used a different memory card in my camera, so hopefully this time it works. I'm just trying to think if I said anything in those other videos that I didn't say in this one. I don't think so. I don't think I have. But I really just want to say before I go that there are a few people that message me quite often, and we talk about not just weight but about different things, and I've met some lovely people predominantly in the crafting community, which has been a lifesaver for me, because I didn't really know anybody personally that had the same interests as me, and it's been an absolute relief to be able to meet somebody of the same sort of mindset, and you know, other creative people. And there are some amazingly creative people that I have met. I am so lucky to know you all, and I really do appreciate everything that you do for me. I'm not going to carry on because I'm going to get emotional, but I really do appreciate everything, and it's so lovely to have the feedback, the positive feedback. As it stands so far, I've never had anything negative, which, you know, touch a bit of wood, that is amazing. I'm not saying that these weight journey videos are not going to get any negativity, because they are. That's just the way, you know, the world is, unfortunately. And I think having all this positivity around me with you guys will set me up for that anyway. So at the end of the day, you know, the people that want to be negative, that's up to them. You know, what they say is obviously important to them, but it's not important to me. How you guys feel that watch me and support me and are going through something similar to me, that's what I concentrate on. And that's when it would worry me if it come from one of you guys, if you weren't happy with something, if I'd said something inappropriate or wrong. I would much rather hear it from you guys than some, you know, random person that doesn't watch me at all. So if you want to give me drop me a message at any time to talk about anything, I am always about. I usually always have my phone and my iPad stuck to me, you know, at some point, most points during the day. So just message me through my little Facebook, Little Spaceman Paper Crafts page on Facebook, which I will link in the description bar at the bottom. So thanks so much again, guys, and you know, love you all very much. Thanks. Take care then, guys. Bye.